involved in intramural sand volleyball and flag football. So far, his most memorable college experience has been Battle of the Dorms. If James could have any superpower, he would want the ability to fly. After graduation, James plans to travel and spread the word of God wherever he goes. Escorted by James is freshman Princess Rachel Simons. Rachel is a music ministries major from Waco, Texas, and has been involved in chapel worship, street hope, and serves as a community leader for T3. Her favorite things are singing, yelling at people from across campus, and big t-shirts and headbands. Rachel loves Ariel from The Little Mermaid. She loves her the most because of how free-spirited she is. Her most memorable college experience has been taking on the legendary T3 Slash. After graduation, Rachel intends to work in ministry and lead worship. From Queen Creek, Arizona, Jake Godin is this year's sophomore prince. Jake is a pastoral ministries major who's been a part of World Prayer, The Voice, and Mission 10. Some of his favorite things to do involve spending time with his family and friends, watching football, and hiking. The people in his life that he looks up to the most are his mother and Pastor Andrew Landry. If Jake could have any superpower, it would be teleportation. So far, his most memorable experience at SAGU has been living on G3. After graduating, Jake intends to pastor a church. Jake is escorting Angie Black. Our sophomore princess from Midlothian, Texas, Angie is a secondary English education major who enjoys reading, blogging, writing, cats, and Pancake Monday. The person who has made the biggest impact on Angie's life is Nicolas Cage. Her favorite Disney princess is Jasmine. Her most memorable college experience is living in India for a month as part of a Mission 10 team and working with slum kids and sex trafficking victims. After graduation, Angie intends to become an English teacher to enable her to work in foreign missions. A church ministries major from Detroit, Michigan, Luke Bonzalal. This year's junior prince, Luke is involved in ransom, chapel worship, and street hope. Some of Luke's favorite things are ping pong, the amazing race, and playing cards in the Bridges lobby. His dad has had the biggest impact on his life because he exemplifies a life of integrity. If he could relate his life to any 90s pop song, it would be You've Got a Friend in Me by Randy Newman. And yes, that is the song from Toy Story. After graduation, Luke plans to become a youth pastor and plant a church in downtown Chicago. Escorted by Luke is your junior princess, Dion Burnett. From Temple, Texas, this elementary education major is involved in cheerleading, street hope, and Bridges Pancake Mondays. She loves chips and salsa, thrift shopping, and small towns. Her parents have impacted her the most because they're the best. Her favorite Disney character is Tangled. A 90s song that relates to her life would be anything Mary-Kate and Ashley. If she had any superpower, it would be to change moods and make Mondays a lot more fun. After graduating, Dion plans to teach in an elementary school wherever God leads her. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will present the senior nominees for Homecoming King and Queen. Our first senior prince is Joe Kendrick. A Bible and theology major from Shreveport, Louisiana, Joe has been involved in SMA, a study abroad program with Oxford University, has attended a Mission 10 trip, and was RA for Bridges Hall for 3 semesters. Joe really enjoys helping people to be more like Christ, loves to fly planes, and really likes Amy Farina. His father has had the biggest impact on his life. He says if he can grow up to be half the man that he is, he will have lived a life worth living. Joe's most memorable college experience can be summed up in one word: relationships. Escorted by Joe is our first senior princess, Yvene Hoya. A human services major from Bentonville, Arkansas, Yvene has been involved in Gold Jackets, Freedom's Voice, and serves as the SMA president. Yvene's favorite Disney princess is Jasmine, and if she could have any superpower, she would want to fly. Her mom has had the most impact on her life because she set an amazing example of a strong woman who doesn't give up or shy away from a challenge. Yvene's most memorable college experience was the time brother Chad tried to marry her off from the stage. After graduation, Yvene plans to attend grad school. Marshall Benson. Our next senior prince, he is a psychology major from Rockland, California. Marshall's most memorable college experience has been snowboarding with his sweet mates, which is one of his favorite things to do, along with surfing and eating Mexican food. His favorite Disney character is Bruce from Finding Nemo. Marshall's father has had the biggest impact on his life, and if he could have any superpower, it would be optic blast. After graduation, Marshall plans to move back to California and pay off his student debt forever. Escorted by Marshall is Lindsay Gillilyn. A counseling major from Branson, Missouri, Lindsay is currently an RA in Kendrick and would like to give a shout out to her girls. In addition to that, she has been a Mission 10 leader, part of the on-campus ministry, The Voice, and has served as a counselor at Royal Family Kids Camp for 2 years. If she could have any superpower, she would love to be able to snap her fingers and make food appear. After graduation, Lindsay will be attending grad school, but would also love to go back to India to work in a shelter for human trafficked children. Our next prince is Sean Armstrong. Sean is a psychology major from Albuquerque, New Mexico. His favorite things include skydiving, swimming, Candy Crush, sleep, family, SAGU, ultimate frisbee, living in Regents, Gardettos, and amazing people. As far as 90s songs go, Sean most relates to Barbie Girl by Aqua. His favorite Disney character is Ariel from The Little Mermaid because she breathes underwater. After graduation, Sean plans to attend a psychology doctoral program, work for the Air Force, get married, and who knows what else. Today, graduation, tomorrow, the world. Escorted by Sean is our next senior princess, Amy Farina. An intercultural studies major from Abilene, Texas, she has been involved in intramural soccer, SMA, and res life. The biggest impact on her life has been Jesus. But if you're looking for a non-cheesy Bible school answer, her parents have also made a huge impact on her life. Amy's most memorable college experience has been all the time she's had with the amazing friends. Her favorite things include soup on a cold day, coffee, and dates with Joe Kendrick. After graduation, Amy plans to love Jesus, do what he says, and pursue nursing school. Our final senior prince is Robert Tui. A church ministries major from Austin, Texas. Robert's most memorable moment at SAGU is playing and moderating a game called Werewolves in Bridges Lobby for the last year. His favorite Disney character is Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. She may not be a princess to Disney, but she is a princess to him. Robert's parents have made the biggest impact on his life. 3 of Robert's favorite things are God, food, and Dr. Pepper. After graduating, Robert plans to head back to Austin and get involved with his home church. Escorted by Robert is our final senior princess, Becca Denny. A secondary education English major from Eugene, Oregon, a few of her favorite things include raindrops on roses, whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles, and warm woolen mittens. Becca's favorite Disney character is Simba because he had really great hair. If she could have any superpower, she would love the ability to project music at any moment that would force everyone to erupt in a choreographed yet tasteful flash mob. After graduation, Becca plans to receive a master's and doctoral degree, then move to the California coast where she can run on the beach with her dog, Nana. Please give a round of applause for this year's homecoming royalty. In just a moment, Devin Ferguson from the Alumni Association will be presenting a $1,000 scholarship to the 2 outstanding individuals announced as King and Queen. Presenting the crowns are last year's homecoming king, Chris Buford, and last year's homecoming queen, Mary Gong. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the 2013 homecoming king is Joseph Kendrick. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the 2013 homecoming queen is Amy Farina. And the crowd goes wild. She said yes. She says yes. Congratulations, King Joseph. Congratulations, Queen Amy, and really, congratulations. And congratulations to the entire 2013 homecoming court.
Reporting here with the new king and queen, Joe Kendrick and Amy Farina, and also the newly engaged pair. Tell me, did you know you were going to win? Did you have it planned?
I did have it planned, but I didn't know that I was going to win. I had some words and some clues, but it wasn't for sure. So I just thought, bring the ring just in case.
Now, Amy, what was going through your mind as he popped the question?
Well, I figured it was a pretty good opportunity, so maybe I was a little suspicious, but of course, just a confident yes.
Thank you so much, guys, and congratulations. Back to you, Rob.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tyler. And an amazing turn of events here at halftime as Joseph Kendrick pops the question to Amy Farina in front of a crowd of hundreds. And she said yes. So either way, it's going to be a winning day for that couple here at Lumpkin Stadium. Here it is again. You see Joseph Kendrick walks out as he wins the King Award first. And then moments later, Amy Farina is hearing her name called. Now these two obviously were not put together as she walks over. And here it is, Joseph Kendrick on his knee, and the crowd goes wild. A moment these two will never forget, nor will we soon forget here at Lumpkin Stadium. A memorable moment in the 2013 homecoming weekend for sure, as Amy Farina says yes, and then gets the hug from her new fiancé, Joseph Kendrick. So, while we were away, love was in the air at Lumpkins. And we were at halftime, 28-21, as the Lions have taken the field with some halftime stretching, and we'll have some stats for you soon. Here at halftime, you see Gish out there near the 50 working on some long field goal kicks.
Report to the visitors concession stand. Again,
so we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more activities here at halftime. Just moments away from the second half getting underway at Lumpkin Stadium. Your score, the SAGU Lions 28, Panhandle State 21, and Joseph Kendrick won the heart of Amy Farina at halftime. We'll be right back. And welcome back to halftime here at Lumpkin Stadium. 28-21 your score.
So it's a red Ford Fusion. It's got Michigan plates on it. There she is.
Panhandle State taking the field as they are preparing to kick off. I'll check that. I believe the Lions will actually kick off in the second half. We'll wait to see. I believe it was the Lions who did receive. So the win should be a factor here by the time we get to the fourth quarter. And we were talking at halftime, Mark, and the Lions will have the wind at their back. Should that be a factor? James Gish can kick it with the best of them. He ranks in the top 4 or 5 kickers in the entire NAIA, and the Lions will set back to receive the kick. It'll be Jeremy McDonald, number 1, and Trevor McKinley, number 7, back there as well.
All right.
Also Carvin Colton. Where's number 22 in the bottom of your screen?
Well, we're going to start off with the wind in this quarter. The Aggies will have the wind in the fourth quarter.
And a short
Another
kick right up the middle, and it's loose. The first line didn't get to it, but the second one able to fall on. It's going to give the Lions pretty good field position.
That was Trevor
35-yard line. Sorry?
Well, we got the first half statistics in. Oklahoma Panhandle had 14 first downs. We had 10. Rushing yards, the Aggies ran 29 times for 64 yards. The Lions 23 times for 213 yards. Passing, in fact, total offense, OPSU 47 plays for 211 total yards, and the Lions had 33 plays for 224. The big statistic of the first half is that Troy Griffin has 161 yards on 12 carries at halftime.
And there's a few flags on the ground.
We've already got a penalty, and I'm not sure what the flag is. The head official has a white cap on, and he's the one who makes the call. Well, the Lions have a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Lost signal there for just a moment.
Golson's going to throw it up the right side.
And it's picked off.
Intercepted at the 30, at the 25-yard line. And pass intended for Josh Goodwin, who turned into a defender when the ball was in the air. The quarterback was all over that pass. Not the best decision by Golson, looking right the whole way.
He threw it off his back foot, so that was what was wrong. And
it's Jamel Major, the junior defensive back from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, will come away with the pick.
That's the Lions' 3rd turnover. In the first half, the Lions were 5 out of 10 passing with 1 interception, and that included Vanique Benton's pass.
1st and 10 for the Aggies. They pushed the pile forward, a gain of about 4.
In the first half, they were just picking up less than 2 yards a carry, 29 rushes for 64 yards. But in the air, they were 12 out of 18 with no interceptions, and about 150 yards for Holbrook in the first half.
Holbrook back in the shotgun on 2nd and 3. Handoff up the middle. It's McClendon. He gets the call. He is going to have the first down. I do believe he crossed the first down marker before he was dragged back. They'll move the chains. Should be first down Aggies. It looked like he clearly had the first down.
He had 147 yards passing in the first half. That's Holbrook.
Zach Jackson tried to stop him.
So total yards, not a lot separating the two teams in the first
Well,
half.
you know what? They're going to mark the ball short. I stand corrected. It's going to be 3rd and inches. I thought he had the first down easily, but the mark a bit short. Holbrook's going to keep it. Fake handoff. Clinton will keep it, and he will move the chains this time on 3rd and inches.
He's been very effective with that delayed draw, just running right up the middle and not picking up huge yards, but enough to advance the chains.
Play action fake.
Wide
Pass
open,
complete, wide open, and finally dragged to the ground.
That was that big running back.
Is that Chris Kelly on the catch? No, check that. That is Cameron Young, the tight end from Watauga, Texas.
I'm not sure who was guarding him. Evidently nobody.
Back to live action. It's McClendon on his feet inside the 10-yard line. Snyder on the stop. And the Aggies are on the march.
Well, they had very little success running in the first half, and here he goes running up inside.
Nice cut on the outside.
And no missed tackles, just poor angles chosen by the defense.
Shaquem Taylor and Snyder. Taylor wrapped him up, and Snyder pulled him down.
Well, 2 huge plays for the Aggies to start off, and that is not even counting the interception on defense.
Now, look at, I mean, that offensive line is huge. A 300-pounder, a 299-pounder, Tankerson and Hickey. They are doing their job up front for the Aggies. On the outside now, dragged out of bounds. Shaquem Taylor is able to wrestle Jamel White out near about the 5-yard line, maybe the 6, we'll call it the 7-yard line.
You can see the back of White's helmet there with all of the stickers. He's made enough big plays this year for the Aggies.
Now to bring up 2nd down and 7. 2nd goal to goal from the 7. Near hash mark, 3 receivers left. He throws
He's
left.
open in the corner.
He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Aggies. Touchdown, Jamin St. Louis.
You could see that one from the very beginning, and he had a step on the freshman.
We'll take a look at it again.
Snyder.
I think he took a pick. I think it was a little screen.
Well, he was open.
He's
from
just
the
wide
beginning.
open.
Yeah.
The timing pattern in the end zone. He beats Snyder to the corner. And the Aggies have fought and clawed their way back. Now they've scored 2 straight touchdowns. PAT's good. We're back tied again, 28-all. It was 14-0 Lions.
touchdown.
And here it is again as Snyder beat off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he was open by a good yard or
An
two.
easy call from Holbrook to spot the wide open receiver in the end zone. It was 14-0 Lions, and then Aggies scored 14 back to tie it at 14-all. Then the Lions scored 14 more to take a 2-touchdown lead. Then the Aggies at the end of the first half, and now the first possession of the second half, have knotted things up again.
Well, when I was a kid, they would call that riding the seesaw. Hopefully somewhere in here, somebody's going to get off and allow the other one to kind of plummet back down to the ground.
I think the team with the least number of turnovers today is going to end up winning this game. You also mentioned the team that gets the ball last. It could be a combination of both of those, but offense is beginning to light up now, 28 apiece. Just over 3 minutes into the second half.
That's McKinley running it back, and Bonner put a good lick on him out there around the 25-yard line. Well, the Lions at the half had a slight advantage in total offense, 224 yards to 211. The Lions ran 33 plays, but OPSU ran 47. So our defense has been out on the field already longer than they need to.
And
NAI Mid-States Classic.
And an update from the NAI Mid-States Classic out of Winfield, Kansas. 12 new personal records set by SAGU's cross-country team. So hats off to Coach Jason Cararubias as he has got the cross-country team on the right track as they conclude year number 1 of their existence. And many more good things to come from the runners of Southwestern. 12 personal records today. That's impressive.
Second down.
Well, both the men's and the women's teams have already qualified for the NCCAA. That's the National Christian College Athletic Association's Nationals meet in Dayton, Ohio. That is a mix of NAIA and Division II and III teams from NCAA.
Second 9. It's going to be,
McDonald.
I believe, it's
I think that wasn't that McDonald?
No, I believe it's Benton. I think it's Benton. Benton will carry the ball up past the 35-yard line on the end around.
Well, it's going to bring
Here
up
it is again.
Another.
Came around the outside, took the handoff, and had some running room. A little help from Tyler Jenkins on the block, number 5.
The direct snap is going to be close. I think he got it to about the 36, maybe 37-yard line. That was to Troy Griffin. And the official points to move the chains. First down, Lions. Oklahoma Panhandle wearing the road white with the bright red pants. When they're at home, they wear the navy shirts. Everybody's bunched in tight. Would look like a running play.
And I don't think they're going to spread out. A direct snap to Hopkins. Good for a 5-yard pickup.
If you've just tuned in, you've got a tie game, so grab some popcorn and get ready to watch some offense in the second half. James Hopkins has started the year as the top running back. Troy Griffin has taken over. He has 160 yards in the first half. Golson picked up another 40 yards rushing in the first 2 periods.
Second forward, now they'll shift out wide. Benton at the top of your screen, number 3. Solo coverage. And a handoff up the middle. It's going to be close to the first down marker. Hopkins again on the carry.
You know, while the offense has been struggling, Rob, they're getting their share of criticism, and some are, you know, some on the outside aren't liking some of the play calls. But when you've turned the ball over as many times as the Lions have, the play calling tends to get a little more conservative and a little safer.
True. Because
they've turned it over. And here we turned it over a moment ago, and we've come out running the ball. No surprise there. 3rd and 1.
Golson's got running room, past midfield, down to the 40. Stiff arms the defender, pushed out of bounds on the 37-yard line. Pushed Kedrick Brewster with a stiff arm near the 40. Watch this.
First down, Lions.
Able to get up a few extra yards on that carry.
Well, the defense was expecting the Lions to do what they've just been doing, running between the tackles. Reed Golson faked the handoff, took off around the left end, got a nice block downfield, picked it up. Now they're in a good position with the wind at their back. They're inside the 40. Will they keep running, or will they start to pass?
They're set to run, but Golson's going to roll right, throw right, pass intended.
Wow, that was for No, yeah, that was Tyler
Jenkins.
And that's like the 3rd or 4th time in the game that Golson has the receiver wide open.
Yeah.
He's got all kinds of grass behind him, and then just can't make those short.
Missed the window.
Not even a mid-range pass, just a short bread and butter pass. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. I like the play call. I think he just rushed that a little bit. Well, he's got McDonald down here at the bottom, and it looks like Benton again at the top. Looks
Golson
like a passing play,
out of the
but
pistol.
it's not.
He's going to hand off over the right side. That's going to be Jenkins again. Check that Griffin on the run. In women's soccer today, St. Gregory's University 3, Lady Lions 1.
We scored a goal. Write it down. Mark that one. The Lions have been struggling to put one on the board. They haven't scored in their last 6 or 7 games. So way to go, Mandy Fortner and the Lady Lions. Okay, it's 3rd down and long, Rob. We need to keep this
3rd
drive
and
going.
7, passing
Watch
situation.
Dylan Moore,
Golson rolls
but
right,
they're
looks
rolling the
downfield,
opposite
throws,
way.
pass complete. He had it. I said complete. He grabbed it and it just whistled out of his, or wrestled out of his hands.
But they're giving him the reception.
They're going to give him the catch. Okay, well, this was unclear there. The ball fell out of his arms, and it was after he was rolling away, so they're going to call it a pass complete. Here it is again. Let's take a look. Looks like he has possession.
Right there, yes.
And then the ball comes out, kicked out by the defender's leg, it appeared. So 1st down, Lions at the 25-yard line.
Caleb Shelley with
There's
a nice
a screen
grab.
pass, finally completes one. Still on his feet, down to the 23-yard line. Brewster, Andres Brewster, the transfer from Texas A&M Commerce, picks up a couple. Going to bring up 2nd, 7, mark it at the 22-yard line. Lions looking to take the lead again for the 3rd time.
Well, he's got Josh Goodwin, whom he has tried to go to before, 87 at the top of your screen. And Brewster is in the slot.
It's going to be Golson on the keeper. 10, 15, 5. Will he get in? 4, 3,
He's across the goal line.
Touchdown, Golson and the Lions back on top.
Touchdown.
Reed Golson would not be denied.
22-yard
Here it is
run.
again. Right up the middle, great blocking up front, and right here, grab at the 6, would not go down. Reaches his hand over the end zone as he falls in. Touchdown, Southwestern. A passionate run from the senior.
And a nice block by Tyler Jenkins downfield. And then he had the presence of mind to swing around and help push Reed over the goal.
So if this plays out, we should score again.
Here's
Go by 14
again.
more. Look at the blocking up front. Huge hole. Jenkins with a great block, number 5 on your screen. 24 had him at the 6.
And here comes Jenkins again right there.
And just helps push Golson into the end zone.
Now, what made that play work so well is that when Golson ran around right tackle, he was looking out to the wide receiver Brewster long enough to hold the cornerback. And once he got up to the line of scrimmage, the hole was too huge. The cornerback was late getting over to cover. Great execution on that drive. Lions up 35-28, our biggest offensive production of the season.
Remember, this began with a short kick from the Aggies. And the short field pays off for the Lions. They're back up by 7, 35-28. No field goals at all today. Everything's been a touchdown and a PAT. As you see the sun popping out here at Lumpkin Stadium. Here's the kick. And the Aggies will set up at the 20-yard line.
I think that was Fogel. You know, most of that drive was comprised of big runs. Golson doing a nice job on it, Troy Griffin. So even with the wind at their back, the Lions opted to run and had good success at it. And if it wasn't for tight end Caleb Shelley, we wouldn't have a whole lot of a passing attack going. But he has found seams and openings in the defense, and either where he's crossing over the middle or in that case, getting open out in the corner.
1st and 10 and wrapped up for a 3-yard loss. Is that Eastwood again, Mark?
Yeah, he just made his day.
Eastwood.
Sudden impact by Eastwood brings down the runner, number 20.
The freshman from Maypearl High School in Maypearl, Texas.
He come away with a fumble earlier, big tackle, and he earlier this season had a pick 6 on defense in the opener.
Right on this same side of the field is where it happened. Now Holbrook in trouble and pounded by a pack of Lions back near the original line of scrimmage.
Well, he did move up less than a yard, so that negates a sack. Easton supplied the pressure.
Here's the hit. And then several other Lions helped finish him off.
That was Dalton Snyder, it looked like.
Caleb Holbrook now facing a 3rd and 12 deep in their own territory. Back to pass, 3-step drop, all kinds of time. Points left, then rolls right, throws right. He's got a man open near midfield, pass complete. Lions say he's out of bounds. We'll see what the refs decide. They're going to talk it over.
They're all pointing something.
And you see one of the SAGU coaches pleading his case. Let's take a look here. See if he was in bounds.
Andrew Rickman. We got a replay of the sideline. Did he come down in bounds?
Well, it's hard to tell. Some of the players were back to live action now, and a run up the middle.
Howarth comes in.
Good for a first down. It's hard to tell in that replay.
From an end zone view.
It looked good to me, but the coaches were on the spot there. Of course, they're gonna fight that it was out of bounds. But
well, you saw everyone in purple down pointing at the ground, so they probably had a reason to be up in arms.
Holbrook rolls to his left. All kinds of running room. Cuts upfield 40, 30, 35, 20, down to 20. Wow. Shoved out of bounds inside, down near the 18-yard line. Caleb Holbrook can run the ball.
Okay, here's a replay of that previous pass. Okay, watch the receiver, 81.
And there's the ball coming into the receiver, and he is toe. It all depends if his left foot was on the ground when he caught the ball, which is inconclusive. But if it's his right foot, he would have been out of bounds. So the SAGU coaches had reason to complain. Here it is again.
Right. See, the
catches.
Left foot is,
well, I think they probably saw the left foot was part of the possession, because otherwise that's an incomplete pass. So tough to tell in real time, though, these referees, and on a bang-bang play like that. Either way, Aggies continue to march down the field. They're at the 15-yard line now. 1st and 5 after a 5-yard penalty. Moves the ball up to the 15. Holbrook sends a man in motion. He gets the ball and dragged down for no loss. A 5-yard loss. That's Chance Barlow, another quarterback listed on the roster, a freshman from D'Hanis, Texas.
Now, Barlow is a pass-run threat, but no one was fooled on that. Broderick Harrell comes in to make the stop, and Kirk White was there to polish him off if he had gotten free.
And brings up a 2nd down and 9. Holbrook spins back to pass, looks left, throws left, pass complete, inside, down at the 14-yard line. Will bring up 3rd and 4.
Hernandez, 5'9", 160 out of El Paso.
He shoved off McKinley. McKinley had to give him some space. Pass complete. Now brings up a big 3rd down conversion attempt for the Aggies as they're trying to keep pace with the Lions. Under 4 minutes now in the 3rd quarter. This is a fast-moving 3rd quarter, Mark.
Cole Wills is their center, 5'11", 300 pounds, stocky guy. He's the one who anchors that offensive line from the middle, wearing number 64.
And a timeout. The Aggies want to talk it over. They know it's a big 3rd down here. Although it's in the 3rd quarter, they probably sense like they need to score a touchdown instead of a field goal, which seems to be on the menu for every time a score happens. It's been for 6. So the Aggies are going to talk it over.
You'll see the offensive coaches in there, head coach Russell Gaskamp calling the troops in.
Be sure to follow us on other social media sites that we have available for you. You can like us on Facebook, SAGU Sports Network. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Of course, watch archives of all of our games we broadcast on SAGU.tv.
On our SAGU TV network by accessing.
There you see all the particulars. Stay connected to all the athletics happening on the SAGU Sports Network.
Well, there's a big 3rd down play. This is the play that can make a difference in 3 points or 7 points. It's a 4-point play coming up right here with Holbrook. Third down and a long 4 yards to go.
He's got McClendon on the right, sets a man in motion from left to right. He's going to roll right. Holbrook's got a man open in the end zone, and the receiver fell down asking for a flag. It says Snyder tripped him. No flag called. That'll bring up 4th down.
Snyder didn't trip him. He knocked him down.
Well, he was asking for the help. Here it is
watch
again.
18. Boom.
Well, you see, that was Jamin St. Louis who had a score earlier, pleading that Snyder, you see number 18 there,
well,
Dalton Snyder pushed him.
Yeah, but the only argument that he had.
And look at this, they're going to go for it on 4th down. No delay here. Far hash marks, 2 receivers above the hash marks. Playing the short side of the field is Holbrook. He looks left, all kinds of time, up the middle, passing complete. No flags. The ball will go over to the Lions on downs, and a big stop for the Purple Pride of Southwestern.
I'm not sure who he was looking for, and he had time to pass. Originally, I thought he was going to have a wheel route coming over here on the right side. On that previous play when Snyder knocked him down, in the NFL you can't make contact beyond 5 yards down the field, and the only argument the Aggies would have had would have been if he had hit him while the ball was in the air, but he didn't.
Who was he throwing to? It looked like the pass was intended for St. Louis, number 16, coming over the middle.
And he was tightly guarded by Howitt, so quarterback just looks like he just threw it away.
And a run up the middle for minimal gain. As we near the 3-minute mark, 3:20 left in the third. The Lions looking to improve to 3-4 in the season, and all important 2-1 with a win today would remain just 1 loss out of first place in the CSFL. We'll wait to see if Langston and Bacone drop their contest today. The only 2 undefeated teams left in the league. It's 2nd and 7. Golson checks his signals. Single setback. He gets the handoff. It's Hopkins over the right tackle for a gain of a couple. You know, we never actually had time in pregame to get to our thoughts, Mark, about what it would take for SAGU to win. And what I was going to say was if Golson stays patient in the pocket and allows that extra half second, full second for the play to develop, then I think we have a chance. He's got to read the defense and trust the route and make the throw. And I've seen some of that today. I'd like to see more of it, but Golson's being more patient in the pocket.
A likely passing play. He rolls out to his
and he stays in the pocket, throws, got a pass, reception, on his feet.
That's
still.
Brewster.
Brewster catches the ball near the 40, out at the 45-yard line. Nice, there it is again. He stayed in the pocket, let Brewster run his route. It's a crossing pattern. Caught him on the dead run. Move the chains, just what you want to see if you're head coach Jesse Godding out of your quarterback. Plenty of time to throw. Brewster, the freshman from El Paso, Texas, a 200-pound, 6'2" receiver. The recipient of that pass from Golson. 1st and 10 on the 45-yard line. There's a run up the middle. Another 1st down. That's Carbon Colton, the freshman from Dallas, Molina High School. All kinds of running room.
You were talking a moment ago about this potentially being a win in the conference. They are an allied member of the conference, but our record would still be 1-1. It doesn't count in the win column, but they will play everybody else in the CSFL, and this would be a great tune-up going into the last 3 games. Well, they jumped offside again, same player. That shift, like the old Cowboys in the 70s, that shift would throw off some people, and the Lions have added that.
Did you just say the 70s? Did you just date yourself?
I just said the 70s.
My gosh.
That's back when Drew Pearson was running.
We're talking Roger Staubach days, folks. I mean, Aikman, yeah, we remember.
Well, I go back to Dandy
Staubach,
Don.
I remember maybe 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, no, I go back to Craig Morton and Dandy Don Meredith.
The The dandy diaper. Golson.
He's got
He's got all
McDonald.
kinds of them up over the middle. Pass intended for McDonald, incomplete.
Pass intended to
In
know
double
what?
coverage.
I will tell you what, we ran well today, but Golson has misfired many times. That play from the very beginning, you could tell, was designed for McDonald. He's the flyer out of San Antonio's Cornerstone Christian. Last year he averaged 19 yards per reception. This year just averaging 7.1. That's an indication of that leg injury that he has.
2nd and 5 from the 39-yard line. We're underneath a minute left in the third quarter. The Lions will have the win in their favor as we begin the fourth. Golson will keep it himself with the read option, and he gets just a couple.
Reed Golson on the run. Tackled by Allen Maxwell.
Carbon Colton, number 22, exiting the field. He's the third running back, and he gets, I think he's had close to 20 carries this season. He's a freshman out of the west side of Dallas at Molina High School.
And a timeout taken by the Lions. They
Yeah,
would have talked it over on
Coach
3rd and 3.
called that one.
Frank Tristan, the offensive coordinator, did not like what he saw, either how his team was setting up or what he saw in the defense, the defensive setup of the Aggies. So wants to talk it over. That's their first timeout of the second half. While we're in timeout, we'll let you know that there are just 3 games remaining on the SAGU Lions football schedule. 2 away games, the 2nd and the 9th of November. Back here, home, final home game of the season, final game of the season. Bacone College in town. We'll have all the action for you here on the SAGU Sports Network. And those are 3 CSFL games, so they could, if they win today, which, correction, they will not count because, as you said, OPSU is not an official member of the league. So 3 games left. The Lions could still finish as high as 4-1 in the conference, in the league.
Well, that would be a great way to finish, but we need to finish this one out today. And Coach Tristan, seeing a big play like 3rd down with the lead in the end of the third quarter, the Lions want to take advantage of this. Go up 2 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter would give the team great momentum.
Shovel pass back on up ahead to
Big hit.
Colton took a huge hit.
47, their top linebacker, Tanner Hawford, 6'1", 216 out of Dumas, Texas.
And someone else is slow to getting up besides Colton. One of the Lions players. Look at this hit
Watch
put
47.
on Colton. But in the middle of your screen, you see another SAGU player. I think it may be Peter Akoric in number 67, slow to get up. Yeah, look at number 67. He's going to be slow to get up as he is injured on this tackle.
Yeah, it looked like it could be his left quad. He was kind of bent in an awkward way. The Lions pick up the first down, and for all of the struggles the team has had this year with turnovers and in the passing game, in the CSFL, the Lions are first in 3rd down conversions. They're converting them at a rate of 39%. Langston at 35, Texas College 33. Bacone, the top team in the league.
Near the bottom.
Yeah, they're 29%. And on 4th down, the Lions are 8 out of 13. That's 61%. Unfortunately, turnovers have kind of short-circuited things at critical times.
Well,
and another area that the Lions have actually, they haven't got that many penalties, 44, which is the least in the conference, but they've come at some pretty tough times for the offense.
Let's take it down now to Tyler Evans. Tyler, what do you?
Thanks, guys. Here I am with SAGU fan of the game, Zach Green. Zach, now you're decked out in SAGU paint, colors, and spirit. Tell me, what does being a SAGU Lion mean to you?
Being a SAGU Lion just means having pride, loving your school, and representing them no matter what.
Now, the SAGU team is up by 7 points. What are your predictions for the fourth quarter?
Well, our offense has been playing really good today, so hopefully we'll just keep that up, score a couple more touchdowns, and keep this lead.
Thank you so much, Zach, and enjoy the rest of the game. Back to you, Rob. Back to you.
Thanks, Tyler.
Well, the Lions picked up a short gain there on first down right up the middle.
And bring up 2nd and 5. Ball's on the 28-yard line. Definitely with this win inside Gish's range. With this win, it's a chip shot for James Gish.
Well, you see Troy Griffin lining up behind Golson. 2nd down and call it 6 yards.
And Golson's going to throw. He's got a man wide open. Benton.
And he dropped it.
Had it tipped to himself, tried to grab it. Pass thrown just a little too far in front of him, and Benton unable to bring it in. Here it is. Led Benton just enough where he had to tip it to himself.
Yeah, he should have had that ball right.
And I'll tell you what, that's a good point. You get 2 hands on the ball, you need to catch that ball at the collegiate level.
Yeah, that would hit him right in the palms. He's averaging just 4 yards a catch. They really haven't used him downfield much at all this season. Maybe that's why. But he ran a good route and was open over the middle. Would have given him a 1st and goal.
The 3rd and 5 now. Golson back to pass. 3-step drop in the pocket underneath. Pass complete. 1st down and more. 15, 10, 5. Down to the 1, and he spins into the end zone. But they might come. It is a touchdown. Brewster scores for the Lions.
His first career score, Rob. He got the crossing pattern and hit the sideline. He was not going to be denied.
Caught the ball, turned, full head of steam, all kinds of running room. Now watch this move here as he stays inbounds and twists and spins and just falls down into the end zone. Touchdown, Southwestern. And
he carried Jamel Major across the goal line. Lions are back up with a chance
Lions
to be 14
are about to go back up by, there it is, 14 points again, 42-28. Let's see if the Aggies can respond. Now they're down by 14 for the 3rd time in this game.
Well, the defense needs to step up here and come away with a play. The Lions did that one against the wind at the end. You can see Coach Jesse Gotting talking to Chad Deeren, number 19, who's going to be kicking off. You don't know whether he's going to try to kick one hard into the wind.
Now I want to credit Reed Golson here for something I mentioned earlier. That's the kind of play where in other games he might be tempted to just take it and run because he had plenty of room up the middle. But he elected to wait, let the play develop. Brewster was right there in the crossing pattern, and he hit his man on the spot. So watch this again here. Golson could have easily, look at that, all that room up the middle, but instead he throws to Brewster, who was up the middle 5 yards ahead of the hole, and there Brewster takes care of the rest.
Wow.
That's got to be so tempting as a running quarterback, and here's an onside kick, and
the Lions have recovered it.
The Lions have it. The Lions will keep the ball on an onside kick.
That looks like 38. That would be Broderick Harrell.
Here it is again. The ball sailed about 20 yards, not the traditional 10. Dropped straight down, and
no, there were
several OPSU players there, but hustling to grab that ball.
That's 36, Eddie Morgan Jr., who's a backup corner who comes away with a big play by the special teams.
Wow.
Maybe if we can score here, that may negate that.
The 14-14 game. Well, wow, what a turn of events here at Lumpkin Stadium as Lions just want to keep pouring it on now, try to put 3 straight scores on the board, knowing the Aggies can come right back. Golson near midfield, pumps left, looks right, and he's sacked beyond the 45-yard line. A nice play from the Aggies defense, the front line.
Huge loss of 10 yards.
Getting past the defender, getting past Colton, the running back.
Yeah, he needed Colton to come away with a block. And
Wade Carroll, I believe, on the sack.
Colton was open after the guy got past him, but that's the last thing that Reed Golson was looking for, was a safety valve. Had no time. It's 2nd and 20.
Direct snap to Hopkins, hits a wall, falls forward for a few.
Well, that picked up a little of it. It's going to make 3rd down a little more manageable, 3rd and 15. After getting possession on the onside, boy, wouldn't the team love to put some points on the board here.
And if anything, what this does, it just trickles off another 2.5 minutes off the clock is what it. If you have to punt here, it's really no harm, no foul, because you would have traditionally kicked the ball off anyway. So at least the Lions are beginning to milk the clock at this point with a 2-touchdown lead, but they'd rather have a first down.
He's looking for Jenkins over the middle.
He might run. He will run, still on his feet, and drag down well short of the first down, about 5 yards short. I'll check that, about 15 yards short. I was looking at the wrong marker. So it'll be 4th down, and the Lions punting unit will come out.
I'm going to have no idea why he even looked to run on the play, because you're not going to pick up 15 up the middle. He had Tyler Jenkins open over the middle, and then he looked to throw it off to Brewster, but it was brought down.
The pocket collapsed. He looked to pass, and, you know, he's a runner at heart. He's a runner at heart, and he's not afraid to get hit, and he, unfortunately, got hit well beyond any kind of breathing room on that play. So the Aggies will take over near midfield, ball at the 47-yard line. No, I checked it. They're going to punt. Sorry, the first to punt. Confused there.
Chad Deeren, what a boomer!
He's trying to hang one in the corner. It does hold up. And let's see where they mark it.
It's inside the 1-yard line.
Inside the 1-yard line.
Oh, Chad Deeren, a coffin corner kick, and it looked like.
And credit Mo Monserrat with taking care of business at the other end.
Watch number 2 head downfield.
Play.
Watch him.
From Mo, had his eye the whole time, never gave up on it. An unfortunate kick, and he
was over the line when he made contact.
He was over the line, but the ball wasn't.
Well, if he's over the line, that should be a touchback.
Oh, and they are going to give him a touchback. Okay, so the refs got it right. But it looked like the referee was marking it down inside the 1, Mark.
Yeah, I think the other guy, the line judge, overruled him, which is a good call. Monserrat had crossed over the goal line before he made contact.
Pass underneath complete near the 25-yard line. That's to St. Louis again. Jermaine St. Louis, the sophomore out of Miami, Florida. And now, with 11:24 left, down 14, plenty of time, but the Aggies don't want to take too much time on this, what they hope to be first of 2 touchdown drives in a row.
They've got the wind at their back in the 4th quarter. It's died down a little bit.
Screen play, pass complete to 21, pass 25, 30, down to 32-yard line, out of bounds. St. Louis again on the reception.
That little bubble, that little pass running around the outside, the Lions have tried to do that all season and seldom have ever turned that into a first down, and they just executed it perfectly and have got a first down.
Ball set in the far hash mark. 3 receivers down on the left. It's a handoff to McClendon. Bounces off a couple of defenders, still on his feet, into the secondary. And not good tackling at all.
No, Harry
About
Ford
4 Lions had a chance to wrap him up.
Yeah, Harry Ford, instead of going for the tackle, just tried to reach in and get the ball. Got nothing, and they pick up another first down.
Quick, no-huddle offense. McClendon, all kinds of running room. And a solo tackle from Mott, who ran one back earlier on a fumble recovery.
Well,
makes the stop there right near midfield.
Yeah, they pick up 5 yards. Mott's a sure tackler. Him and Evers both do a great job in the middle of the field. Have had a great season anchoring down the defense in the linebacker position.
And the Aggies with a no-huddle offense, as they know time is beginning to become a factor here. Holbrook looks left, down the middle, underneath, pass overthrown, intended for McClendon out of the backfield.
And you'll notice that both Mott and Evers had him. He was double covered, and I think the quarterback just threw it in a position where it's not going to get picked, and if it's incomplete, that's not bad. It's 3rd down and 6.
As the band comes to life here in homecoming weekend, asking the Lions to hold as the ball's at the 49-yard line, 3rd and 5. Holbrook, handoff up the middle, all kinds of running room, and McClendon will move the chains. First down, Panhandle State.
First down.
Well, Shaquem Taylor is out of the game right now. You've got Mo Monserrat down here at the bottom corner.
The Lions send 4. Pass underthrown, intended for Jackson.
He was being covered by Trevor McKinley. McKinley's playing in the spot vacated by Nick Econom, who led the nation in interceptions a year ago before graduating.
No
Those are
huddle
big
offense
shoes,
again.
Big shoes to fill.
McClendon behind Holbrook. Pass complete. Inside the 40, down to the 35. It's St. Louis again. Jermaine St. Louis, a handful of receptions, including a great touchdown back in the corner of the end zone earlier in the first half. He's had a big game for the Aggies and Coach Russell Gaskamp.
Howarth got over there just a skosh late. It's third down, a long one.
It's going to be McClendon. He's got the first down and more. Down to the 30-yard line as we.
First down.
Ike Caston and Zach Jackson in on the stop.
As we near the 9-minute 22 mark, 9-minute 20, clock running.
I hope
Aggies.
you're not right on this alternating 14-point swings, Rob.
They're rolling rights. McClendon back to his left, throws against his body. Pass intended for Ricky Backstrom, incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
McKinley was getting over there. He has great closing speed. Starting wide receiver.
Playing both ways today.
Right, and most of his career, though he did play corner as a freshman and a little bit during his sophomore seasons. He's no stranger to that role. He didn't start the year at corner, but he came in when a few other players struggled in the position.
Holbrook hands up the middle out to the right side, running over the tackles. Rod Moore, gain of a couple.
Dalton Snyder grabbed him by his shoe right about there. You can see him, number 18, come in and make that stop. Well, here's a big third down play, 3rd and 9, and I'll guarantee you they're in 4-down territory. Trailing by 2 scores.
Single coverage at the bottom of your screen. Holbrook, crossing pattern, now overthrows the intended receiver. It was Moore again in the flat.
I'll tell you what, we got a score on the screen.
Oh,
it says Oklahoma
goodness.
Baptist 41-0.
Is that a typo? We better have our boys check. Is that a typo?
Yeah,
41-0 over Langston.
Yeah, Oklahoma Baptist has won 2 in a row, but that would be a monumental upset. It would be more than likely the other way around. Here's Holbrook on 4th and 9.
Up
Over
the middle.
He throws. It was deflected.
Deflected by, looks like Johnson, as he is waving his hand saying, no way, Jose.
What a
DJ
big
Johnson.
stop.
Here it is again. Up in the air, grabbing it. It is DJ, the senior, showing his leadership on a huge 3rd down play, timing that just right.
Johnson in high school, 6'4", big power monger forward for Parkview High School. Shades of that big menace inside on defense, comes up with a deflection on 4th down, Rob.
It's a huge play. Turn the ball over back to the Lions under 9 minutes to play near the 30-yard line, mark at the 29. Golson, it's a direct snap. Check that to Griffin.
Now, the one thing the Lions have to do here is just protect the football.
At this point, you start looking at the clock. You just want to run more than pass. Don't be afraid to pass, but running is your best option to keep that clock running and let time expire here at homecoming weekend as Aggies find themselves down by 14. But if you turn the ball over and give the Aggies the ball back and they have a quick score, it's a whole new ball game. So let's see if the Lions can keep this ball in their hands on the ground as the clock continues to run, now under 7:42 left in the ball game. And Golson does just that. He hands off safely up the middle. A gain of a few more. maybe a yard short, first down. It's Griffin. Griffin with two touchdowns already on the day, Mark.
Well, he's got a nice explosive step. Both him and Hopkins will take the handoff, and they'll hit the hole, they'll hit the line with a lot of velocity. And especially for Griffin, who has only lost like 5 yards on the season all year on runs, he's going to bring about positive yards almost every time he touches it.
Ball at the 39-yard line, 1st and 10. They did get the first down. Golson spins back to his right in a world of trouble. May have lost one. Chris Kelly and company for the Aggies on the tackle.
Was Benton supposed to be running that direction? Maybe he should have handed it to him. You're getting a look there of Highway 287, which is just north, probably a half mile from Lumpkin Stadium. We give you all angles here when you tune in. I doubt if anybody's leaving early to beat the crowd.
Griffin set behind Golson in the eye. 2 receivers set, 1 top, 1 at the bottom. Golson will keep it himself around
Nice
the
block by
outside.
Shelley.
And I like how he put both hands on the ball as he was going down. You see that, Mark? Total ball control, total awareness to not fumble. Watch this. He gets the yards, and as he's going down, he puts both hands on the ball because he knows the strip's coming. And earlier in the season, that wasn't happening as often, and he would be stripped.
Well, and you see he got up there and he slapped Caleb Shelley a little high five action for the nice block, which created the hole, created the space, and Golson hit it hard. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2, and with 5.5 left in the game, this will be a big play if the Lions can convert. It's a direct snap to Griffin.
We've seen this.
I think he's got it.
And he does have the first down based on where they're marking him. Easily got the first down. You'd think the Aggies would expect this by now. They're not hiding it at all in film all year long. The Lions have not. They've run it 4, 5, 6 times already here in the second half. And the direct snap is a reoccurring option for offensive coordinator Frank Tristan, and it works again here. The Lions will have the ball at midfield.
One fact that hasn't been mentioned, in my opinion, is we have had a number of fumbled exchanges during the season, and when you do the direct snap, you don't have an exchange. You just grab the ball and tuck it and run.
Golson gets tripped up by Griffin. Griffin looked to be providing some blocking assistance and just kind of got his foot tangled up with Golson on that play.
Well, I think Griffin just wanted to get his name in the stat column for a solo tackle. He got it.
Credit Griffin on the stop.
Right. There's Golson, the senior out of Grandview, Texas. He's 2nd in the CSFL in total offense and in rushing. You can see the towel of Benique Benton blowing with the wind. Lions headed against the wind. We're down to 4:20 left in the game.
2nd 12. I doubt you'll see the ball go in the air again the rest of the day if the Lions have the ball. Benique Benton with some nifty moves down past the 45-yard. They'll bring up a 3rd and about 5 or 6.
And
Benton.
And another thing we've noticed in this game, when the Lions have gone out and executed,
cut back up the middle, Mark, and following a lead blocker, number 71, cuts inside.
That was Paul Selski. But as the Lions have executed more on offense, Tristan has felt a lot more comfortable in opening the playbook up, and you see that if you were just trying to be conservative, there's no way you're going to make that call. He's done a great job today because the offense has gone out and they have carried their weight today, more than carried their weight, and I like some of the calls he's had.
And the clock now under 3:40 remaining.
Here's
Lions
the 3rd down.
just need to take care of the ball to secure the win here today at homecoming weekend at Lumpkin Stadium. Golson. Nothing there, and he holds on to the ball as he falls down and then releases it. They'll bring up
John
They get
Libby
fourth
came
down.
over and made the stop there for the Aggies. They needed that. If the Lions could have converted there, the game would be all but assured.
And now you're looking at a 4th down and 7, 1 timeout left for the Aggies. They should get the ball back with about 3 and change. And if you're the Aggies, you need a quick score, an onside kick, and another score. Now this is where you talk about the lack of field goals and the presence of touchdowns, and you want to thank your offense for putting the ball in the end zone, not settling for field goals, because right now that could be the difference in the ball game.
Well, the last time the Lions punted, they had Chad Deeren in. Now they have the sophomore Steven Stewart back at the 40.
And almost a muff kick and a terrible punt. It's going to land at the 36-yard line and then bounce back at the 34, then back to the 36. So the Lions give the Aggies really good field position here.
That's Stewart, you didn't help yourself on that one. He bobbled the snap, and in doing so, he did get the kick off, but it only went for 10 yards. But it's a lot better than a block. The clock was still running. It's down to 3:19 left, and OPSU has got to score and score quickly. You'll notice that Dylan Snyder is back deep.
And a pass.
Oh boy.
Pass complete.
That's exactly what the Aggies need. That one went to number 81, Ricky Backstrom. And if he hadn't have stumbled, he might have scored. Snyder was a tad late getting over. They're looking over the middle again, but they go outside to Backstrom.
And another pass complete.
And McKinley, in 2 plays after that punt, I think the punt gave him a nice boost in momentum.
3-yard line, 1st and 10 as the 3-minute mark ticks away, just under 3 now. And this is just what the Aggies needed, a potential quick score. It has to be a touchdown, obviously, and then another score if they get the onside kick. But first things first, can the Aggies put the ball in the end zone? Looking back to pass, it's Holbrook, pass complete. Receiver puts his head down near the 15, down to the 14. That's St. Louis again. And the clock continues to run. No huddle offense from the red and white.
And a no-pressure defense. The Lions could do themselves a huge favor by getting some pressure on Holbrook.
They'll send 4. Now 5, a linebacker blitz.
He's open
picked
over
up.
the middle.
Touchdown, Aggies. Blitz was picked up by the running back. Touchdown, Panhandle State. Don't go anywhere, folks. Plenty of time left, 2:18 left.
That was
and
way
PAT
too
pending.
easy.
We're back to a 7-point advantage.
Well, you see the cornerback, Broderick Harrell, let the man get past him, and the safety was late getting over. You can see him right there. He let him run right behind him, and he's open, touchdown. If he had coverage, he missed that one.
And the PAT is good. I think that may have been Mott on the linebacker blitz. And he was stopped, and he was actually pushed up into the air. And that gave Holbrook that extra half second of time he needed to find the receiver in the left corner of the end zone. And it is 42-35. And all day it's been a game of 14s. 14 points for one team, then 14 points for the other team. And we're right on track.
I'll interrupt you right now and just say we're not going to give up the next touchdown to complete that cycle. We're just going to say to the Aggies, you know what, you almost did, but you ran out of time. That's what I would prefer.
Let's just see if they can
write this storyline.
If they can just fall on this onside kick, and you know it's coming, with 1 timeout left, the Aggies would not be able to get the ball back with just 2:18 left should the Lions get a first down. So they're going to need to really execute this onside kick to perfection, hope for a funny bounce. Take a look at our players. You got Jeremiah Mott up front. You've got number 5, Tyler Jenkins. You've got number 87, Josh Goodwin, a receiver. You've got 88, Caleb Shelley. So a hands team up front near midfield between the 45 and the 50-yard line. The ball set at the 35, has to go 10 yards.
Right, you've only got one man back unless he's going to try to kick it over or beyond this line.
So here we go, folks. The game on the line right here. The ball has to reach past the 45-yard line before the Aggies can touch the ball legally. as the Lions have 4 up front, 5 in the middle, and 1 man deep, like you said, Mark. So here's the kick.
Carlos Nieto.
A dribbler to the left. It doesn't go, but 8 yards. So the Lions will get the ball back at the 48-yard line at just a mistake from Aaron Doherty. Although the ball was coming to a stop, you still just cannot touch the ball until it goes 10 yards. So the Lions will come away with the ball with great field position, a chance to run out the clock and secure this win.
Right, they kick off from the 35, so the ball has to go to at least the 45 before the Aggies can jump on that loose ball. 40 didn't wait until it went that far, and it may not have gone, but you'll never know because he intercepted that. Well, they've only got, I think, 1 timeout left.
They do.
The Lions just have to take care of the pigskin.
Hold on to the ball, no fumbles.
Wow, what a hit up the middle.
Hopkins pays for that one.
45 delivered the takedown, Glenn Bonner, and he has been delivering the hammer repeatedly during the game. Look at that.
I'm not sure as much of a hit as just a wall of players, and Hopkins had literally nowhere to go.
I think that was a hit. He got past Mitchell Grimes.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to give Bonner
it was
the
a wall of defenders. 2nd and 9. We'll give him 1 yard. Griffin set behind Golson. Goodwin, 87 down low. Handoff to Griffin over the left tackle. Inside the 40,
and
rumbles down to 37. And here comes their 3rd and final timeout with 1 minute and 24 seconds left. The Lions will say today, with the slimmest of leads, today 7's been a slim lead. No field goals, no safeties, no weird plays. Everything's been a touchdown and a PAT as Griffin, he knows they're coming after that ball. He puts 2 arms around it as he falls to the ground.
Well, he's struggled with some fumbles this year. He's lost 4 or 5 of them. And this play right here, if the Lions can convert in fact, the clock is going to keep running anyway. They can't stop it. You know the Lions aren't going to pass it. It's 3rd down and 5. And even if they don't pick up the first down here, the Lions will probably go ahead and run another play. Either that or
they could get the ball back with about 45 seconds left. The Aggies could get the ball back in about 45 seconds left if they don't pick up the first down on this play. And then you're talking maybe a Hail Mary, some long passes, and a big play into the end zone. It's the only chance the Aggies have left. So here it is, the game on the line, 3rd and 5. First down, Mark, you're right. Game is over. All but over with the first down here. 5 more yards. Let's see if Golson can pick it up. It's a handoff up the middle. The pile is still being pushed forward, and they're not going to make it. So it'll bring up 4th down. The clock continues to run, 1:14 remaining.
Well, what they'll probably do here is let the clock run down and take the penalty.
Take a delay of game, take 5 yards. The ball is at the 37, so the punter has plenty of room to work with.
And if we had have gotten a little closer, I could even see the Lions gambling for it and saying, okay, you've got 65 yards to go. But right now, they've still got Golson out on the field, so they're that kind of confident, and they're down to 40.
And now we're under 40 seconds. You're right.
They're going to try to draw the Aggies offside. And
that is possible.
Then they'll just take the penalty. The play clock is down to 3 seconds. No, they'll take the penalty.
So 30 seconds. Check that. 30 seconds remaining now. As the Lions did call the timeout. On 4th and 4.
These are the kind of decisions that coaches get paid to make. And right now, in the middle of that huddle, you can see Coach Godding talking to them.
I'll just say this, Mark. I'd rather Golson just take a knee than punt the ball, because my mind goes back to a game a year or 2 ago when The Lions had all but the game secured, and a muffed punt snap went over the head of a punter. The other team, I think it was Bacone College, picked up that fumble and went on to win that game in a thriller at Midlothian High School. You just hate to see some mistake happen here where the punt snap is muffed in any way to give them good field position, or
you know what? In fact, if you look,
fumble
you'll see
recovery.
there's no punter on the field, so I think you probably called that play correctly. Golson is going to go out there, and they might just try to run some clock off, and he is. And no, he's going to run it up the middle.
He's going to run up the middle, and he's not going to get it, but that's fine by me. Again, I'd rather see that than a turnover on a muffed punt. I don't use the word turnover because that's not technically a turnover on a fourth down play.
Turnover, if it was picked off, would have had them 90 yards away.
Absolutely.
And Golson took off running probably a bit prematurely, and the Aggies got the stop that they wanted.
I'd rather have the ball at the 37 than our own 37, where the ball would have been about if it was a bad snap on a punt. So here we go, folks. 24 seconds left. Holbrook, all kinds of time, throws right, downfield. Pass short, intended for, I think, St. James again, near the 42-yard line. 18 seconds remaining. He was wide open.
Yeah, I think they were just looking to get the ball down across the 50 so that they could run a few plays into the end zone at the end, and hurried that one a little too quick. You can see the Lions have got
three safeties back.
Their men deep in the secondary. Here goes Holbrook running to pass.
He's got all kinds of room. He's going to throw right.
And there's nothing there. He was guarded by Dylan Snyder, who's overcome a couple of misses today to make that stop. Broderick Harrell was there. You can see he's got Shaquem Taylor deep, Trevor McKinley deep, Jeff Howarth.
Nothing gets by you, Mark. If you're the secondary, all you're hearing the coaches say, no person or ball gets behind you, period. 3rd and 10, 12 seconds remaining. Aggies send 3 up top. Trips to the right. Holbrook throws to the right into traffic. Incomplete, and this will bring up 4th down with 5 seconds. Either way you look at it, should be the final play of the game, barring a defensive penalty.
Jermaine St. Louis was the intended receiver.
And the crowd on their feet here at Lumpkin Stadium.
The Lions are only rushing 4 men, dropping 7 into the secondary. Right
4
now,
underneath, 3 deep.
You've got Brooks.
This is it, folks. This is your ball game.
Easton.
Holbrook, last gasp. What can they do? He throws it into traffic. The ball is incomplete, and the Lions come away with a homecoming victory over the Panhandle State Aggies, 42-35. Congratulations. Here it is again.
The replay.
The ball looks like it had a chance to be caught for a moment there, Mark.
Yeah, 10 looked like he was open.
Tipped up in the air right there. Oh my goodness, look how close that was. Had number 10 been a yard more to his right, he could have caught that ball, and only McKinley, number 7 there on your screen, would have had a shot to stop him. But as it were, the ball falls harmlessly to the ground, and the Lions secure a win here today at Lumpkin Stadium. Wow. We knew it'd be a high-flying score. That's exactly what it was.
You know, we talked about before the game, or at least you and I did off camera, that this was going to be a game that one of these two teams was going to have a chance to salvage their season. OPSU with the loss drops to 3-6. There's no way they can have a winning record. The Lions are now 3-4, and at 3-4, they still have a chance. These last 3 games are going to be meaningful. They have done exactly what they needed to do. Their first home win of the year, the first time to beat the Aggies at home in the series. We were 0-3 before today. That makes us now 1-3 at home, but the first time we've beaten them here. And you know what? That 14-0 lead turned out to be huge. It kept the Lions in control of the lead, and it always had the Aggies on their heels. and you could hear the crowd cheering. We won the homecoming a year ago against Haskell.
Wow.
And this one wasn't pretty, but it was. It showed enough improvement in the areas that we've been lacking. Rob, you've got to look with some optimism now to the next two games.
Really, really love the play of Reed Golson. He is going to be our player of the game. We're going to try to get you an interview with the senior quarterback in just a moment after this break. Congratulations again to the Lions. A big homecoming win. A quick break, a quick timeout. We'll be right back here on the SAGU Sports Network as the Lions win homecoming 42-35. We'll be right back.
This is Tyler Marie with player of the game, Reed Golson. Reed, congratulations on your game. Tell me how it feels winning a game at homecoming with all your fans cheering you on.
It feels good to get a win, finally. Division II school, and we do it in front of all these fans. It feels good to us, and we're happy to get a win.
Now the team is 3-4. We've got 3 games to go. Tell me, what kind of mentality does the team need to have now?
I think we have to approach every game like we can win it. I think we can finish out the season 6-4 and have the winning record for the first time in SAGU history.
Thank you so much, Reed, and congratulations again. Back to you, Rob.
Congratulations, Reed Golson. You led your team to victory. Thank you, Tyler. Mark, your thoughts on today's game?
Oh, boy, that one is just a tonic. There's something about a win that can cover up, areas that maybe you didn't do as well, though today they weren't very glaring. We had the block punt and one turnover that was costly. I do want to tell everyone, if you get a chance later tonight or into tomorrow, go to the SAGU website, sagu.edu, go to athletics, and we will have not only a review of the game, but we'll have the stats up. If not tonight, it'll be tomorrow, and we'll have a number of pictures of the action today shot by Steve Patterson, so you'll want to make sure that you pick that up. But we're now 3-4, Rob, and we have a chance to make something happen on the season, because the next 2 weeks we're on the road. The team has struggled on the road, but we've got Wayland Baptist next week at Plainview, and then we have the game at Texas College. And if that score was right, that Wayland Baptist knocked off Langston, that game next week ought to be something, and I'm going there to supply the audio. Don't miss that game next week from just north of Lubbock. Wayland, that's going to be tough. In fact, last year, Wayland in their first year beat us 58-30 in a game that was tied up after 3 quarters. But a big game today, Rob.
A big game here, and a big game. As you see, Langston will drop to 2-1 in conference play. Oklahoma Baptist will improve to 2-1. And with a score like that, 41-0 at the latest we heard, you almost have to wonder if a quarterback didn't go down or there was a key injury, because that's just a huge discrepancy. But that win will help the Lions in the loss column, the SAGU Lions, as the Langston Lions will drop to the ranks of the defeated, and the Lions will improve now to 3-4 in the season. A winning record still in play with 10 games now in the season. We lost the one against a few weeks ago against Texas Lutheran, I believe it was. So we could still finish 5-5, 6-4, and 3-4 now. 2 more road games, 1 more home game. And I just like the feel, the pace of the play, the mixing up of the offensive creativity from Coach Tristan. And the defense played well as well.
Well, and the defense came up with several big stops on 4th down in the second half. And then, of course, the fumble return by Jeremiah Mott has to go down as one of their big plays. And I'd love to get a confirmation on that Langston Wayland Baptist game. The game was played in Langston, and for them to lose 41-0 would be very hard to believe. But if so, man, the Bison have turned in their best performance of the season.
Absolutely. Well, on behalf of our amazing student crew, our producer John Cookman, from my partner Mark Ward, this is Rob Preston. You've been watching Lions football on the SAGU Sports Network. Until next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace. We'll send you home with some of the highlights from today's homecoming win. There's Jeremiah Mott and company giving the Lions a win today. 42-35, your final score. 42, Jeremiah is his number, and that's the winning score today. So long from Lumpkin Stadium.